14. The throw over the middle taken in. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. They go play action with Lawrence. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Sacked on the corner blitz by Marlon Humphrey. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A short throw there to Strange. Down the left sideline.
You'll get nothing. I like it.
Touchdown, Jaguars. Brenton Strange, 58 yards. And the Jaguars are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. So that's about as long a non-scoring play as you're going to see from inside their own 10 to 1st and goal. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backup some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things, but ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Now Lawrence to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead, and some people may be saying, well, Why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And now, did he step out of the end zone? Yes, he did. The referee says he stepped out, and that is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. This has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we are watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast because this game, well decided a long time ago.
I got you, punk. Keep going, keep running, man. Let's go.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Tight, watch left. Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Ready, go.
Down the left sideline. Travis Etienne, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
And the touchdown apparently not enough. They want more, an onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like.
And now, did he step out of the end zone? Yes, he did. The referee says he stepped out, and that is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over. Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get into that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Play action. It's Lawrence. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they are going to score and yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
And oh, it's wide right. No good. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And I guess the touchdown wasn't enough. They want the onside kick as well. Oh, did the Jags get this? Yes, Jags football. Well, there you go. Just your everyday leading big, and you onside kick it with a lead. They got it. I mean, it worked, but interesting call.
I think because they have such a margin, they feel a little bit bolder about what they're doing. And it's not only just to try and increase their lead, but that's their way of saying we're in full control of this game, and we can kind of do what we want.
131 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. ETN once more. And he'll take this one down to about the 40.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
They'll run with ETN. It's a gain of 4 there and gives them a new set of downs. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go. So Lawrence will exit, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Jaguar field goal. And McManus missed it. How about that? No good. Wide to the left. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance.
Looked like you might have overcompensated there for being on the right hash because you've got to make sure you get the angle right. But that time he started it too far left and winds up hooking it way too far.
Oh, now backing up, and he's out of the end zone. The referee was right there to call it, and that is a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over. Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the best.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes, and that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. Oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone. And that's going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
I don't know what the fuck kind of game this was, but it was amazing though.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end.
So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a